people have to really be able to try. Like, if you don't know, you have to say, "Ooh, I didn't know that." You have to say that.
Yes.
If you do not say that, no one is going to listen to you anymore, and they shouldn't.
Right.
Because the difference between someone who's completely independent and a podcaster and someone who's on CNN should be that no one is telling you what to do. So what is your ethical compass?
What's the evidence, too?
Right. What's the evidence, but also what's your ethical compass? Are you trying to win and be correct, or are you trying to find out what's going on?
Well, it's also about ratings, right? So
It
with
is, but
CNN,
it's not.
you gotta.
Yeah, but it's not, because I don't think about ratings.
No, you don't. I'm saying.
But that's why I have them.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? Like, it's not about ratings.
Right.
Like, ratings come if people believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you sit around thinking about the ratings, do you think you would be on?
No. What do you mean?
You'd be on this show right now.
Imagine if I was like saying things. Yeah, how'd that come across? Can we do that again? Let me do that again.
You didn't even get it.
Yeah,
You didn't even catch it.
Oh, you fucker. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, you motherfucker. You saying that Mark Zuckerberg and Mel Gibson get better ratings than me? This is bullshit.
Occasionally. Occasionally they
you
do.
Fuck.
Look, I like talking to everybody. I genuinely don't give a fuck like
You never
how
have.
the show's going to do. I don't think you can. I think if you do that, it'll distort what you do. And I think we've all seen people who fall victim to what they call audience capture. You know, they start getting a crowd. Like, you see with a lot of guys, like, online, they start saying, like, a lot of wacky right-wing things. And everybody's like, yeah, finally, someone's telling the truth. And then they become just like a fucking nickel and dime version.
My compass for that is this. Whenever I hear somebody say on a podcast or whatever, when they say, you guys, all those people over there are wrong. I'm the one whistleblower. I've figured out. I'm the one. Now, you do have mavericks. But I always am weary of when I hear somebody go, the entire medical establishment is wrong and I'm right. And I go, I don't think so. I think it's way. I just don't think you know enough. I don't think you as one person. I'm not going to just put all my bags. There is something called a scientific consensus. Sometimes that could be a bullshit consensus. We can be told that climate scientists all agree. It's not true. It's just how you get funding. So sometimes the incentive structures are there.
And the same with the medical establishment.
Correct. Let's just be a little bit. Yeah. Let's be a little bit more.
Yeah, you can't say you know things, because I've heard people who are those kind of people say they know things about me.
Yeah.
Like, that you can't use your phone on his show. I've heard people say that, like, confidently.
Yeah. Well, the
I've heard
CIA
people
is right
confidently
behind that
say
door, though,
that he's handled by the CIA. Listen, Mike Baker is my friend, and I'm pretty sure he's still in the CIA. I like him. I have him on because, like, here's a guy who was a CIA operative. Like, let me ask this guy how. And I really do believe he's a patriot, and I really do think he's a great guy. And I think there's a lot of them. And I don't believe cops are bad, and I don't believe any of that bullshit. No. I think there's bad people in every fucking business. There's a lot of comedians that I think are rotten cunts.
Yep.
I don't like them.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean I hate comedians. I love comedians.
Right.
But there's some comedians that fucking suck. And
Correct.
if you encounter those comedians, and that's your only exposure to comedians, you're going to think, oh my God, these guys are all selfish assholes and narcissists, and they rob people, and it's not just a few. There's just a few of those.
I also know some CIA people, like real CIA people, and you talk to them and it's like, they're always like this. They're always like, dude, I wish we were as competent as people say. I mean, if you were involved
Talk to Evan Hafer. Like, who's one of my best friends.
I had breakfast with him today.
Love that guy.
I love Evan.
To death, and he's flying out
tonight.
here to see your
He's coming to my show, yeah.
I love him.
Yeah. I just said this to him today.
That was his business for a while.
Correct.
Like, I know a bunch of those guys.
Correct.
And you need You need You want to know how the real world works? The real world works?
Yeah.
Talk to Evan. Have a conversation with Evan.
Andy Stumpf said same thing. I said to him, I went to his wedding, and I loved everybody there because they were all his closest friends. Evan was there and stuff, and that was the first time I met Evan. And I'm just talking to these tier 1 guys, and they just seemed so intelligent, and they were. And John Dudley was there, and a lot of like great guys. But I'm talking to some pretty cool people, right, who have done a lot with their life, and they were well-rounded and everything else. And I said, man, I just think it'd be so fun to be in a tier 1 unit because they're just all they're so smart, and they just have such a wide breadth of knowledge. And he goes, God, you're so fucking wrong.
That's Andy.
Andy's the best.
Andy had one of the quickest paths to black belts I think I've ever seen.
Oh, is he a black belt now?
Yep.
Well, he lives with a black belt instructor.
That's the thing.
Okay.
When your wife is a black belt, you better get your fucking P's and Q's in order, son.
Yeah,
You better
and
dot
I think
your
he's
I's,
probably a
cross
quick
your
study. That
T's.
dude is so fucking
Yeah.
smart. He's
Well-
another guy who's very smart.
Genius, but also obsessive. Like he got obsessive with bow hunting, became very proficient at bow hunting very quickly.
Yeah.
And then, living with a black belt, though, is what a huge advantage. You can just drill with your wife.
He's also a SEAL
all the
Team
time.
6 guy, so he's got some physicality.
Also
in
kind of
his-
hot. Your wife's strangling you
That's
every day.
kinda hot,
Like,
yeah.
kind of hot.
Yeah,
you
she's-
know?
yeah.
And she could probably kick his ass in the beginning.
Leah is built like a true athlete.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot be light in the ass.
Super smart, too.
Yeah. She's
Super
great.
smart.
Quiet.
Which, I think most black belts are. I think it's just there's too many things you have to consider to get that good at jiu-jitsu.